Every man should know how to break a woman's ego. Somebody can say this is toxic, but is it? In today's reality, almost every woman has an inflated ego, and the reason for this inflated ego is weak men who put them on a pedestal. Because of these weak men, women believe in their uniqueness and irreplaceability. These men treat women like goddesses and shower them with compliments just for existing. Think about it for a second. How would you feel if you were worshipped every day just for existing without any reason? Your ego would go out of control and you would become a self-centered narcissist. By default, women gain value from birth. Of course, looks matter a lot in today's society, but because of this reality, the value of men in women's eyes is rapidly decreasing. To avoid this negative scenario, we'll look at some rules to follow when interacting with women to suppress their ego. But first, if you want to progress, show your support by hitting like and subscribe button. If you have any questions, drop them in comments and let's talk. Rule number 1. You surpass her in everything. If you've already started working hard on yourself, you're a hard-working man who is always improving, and that's why you should feel above women who do nothing but try to look good and monetize their beauty. Don't worry, it's natural to feel this way. It's not just natural, it's necessary to break her excessive ego. Admirers will say this is toxic, but the truth is that women are highly hypergamous and will never look at guys who chase them and seek their approval. But when a woman meets a man who surpasses her in everything and acts accordingly, she loses her mind. Politically correct thinking tells us to treat people as equals regardless of their gender. This is aimed at those who believe in the possibility of friendship between men and women, thinking that just being yourself will make things work out with a girl. Men have always been protectors, hunters, and conquerors. We've always taken what we wanted through persistence, determination, and strength. Women like that. You must understand that weak men are needed by women and society as support staff. From an animalistic perspective, men and women cannot be equal by definition. Imagine you go to the gym and train like a beast, then work hard at your job, and in the evening, work on your own business to secure a bright and happy future. You grind life 24/7 while some weakling plays video games or watches pornography. Would you consider that weakling equal to you? Something tells me you wouldn't. The same goes for interacting with women. If a woman's beauty is all she has and she doesn't want to do anything else in life, how can such a girl be interesting to a high-value man? It sounds harsh, but it's the harsh reality. A man who has worked hard on his life and increased his value holds much higher value than just a pretty girl. That's why it's important to work on your superiority and not be ashamed to demonstrate it. Rule number 2, don't seek a woman's approval. Modern men have become so feminine that they constantly seek women's validation. They ask what she thinks about their strengths and appearance. Some even ask if she loves them, showing how insecure they are. A naturally masculine and confident man would never do this. He doesn't need validation from women. Such a man is confident in himself, doesn't wait for compliments from women, and generally doesn't care what she thinks about every little thing. He knows what he needs to do, does it well, and understands that if there's a worthy woman by his side, she will appreciate it. Seeking approval from women is the fastest way to inflate their ego to astronomical proportions. Rule number 3, don't praise a woman you don't know. Women receive countless compliments from nice guys regularly. You'll be no different from such nice guys if you tell her how beautiful she is without any deeper meaning. This doesn't mean you can't compliment her looks, but understand this simple thing. If you start praising her from the get-go, when she hasn't done anything to deserve it, you lower your value. Every woman has one most valuable man in her life, different from all the admirers in her circle. This man only gives compliments when she deserves them. For example, he praises her moral qualities, character traits he genuinely likes, and when he sees she is making efforts and contributing to the relationship. Rule number 4, put your goals above hers. Remember, you're a man, and you progress only when you have clear goals. The world moves forward and develops thanks to men. We are explorers, conquerors, inventors, and innovators. Without men, society would still live in the Stone Age. That's why your goal should always come first. Unfortunately, most guys today have no goals or ambitions. They're ready to sacrifice their time and plans to meet an attractive girl. They act like little kids wanting a new toy. Remember, you should follow your goals and interests, even if it means sacrificing time with an attractive girl. This doesn't apply to marriage and interactions with your wife or fiancé. That's a different story. We're talking about the dating and meeting phase. Proper prioritization will benefit your interaction with her, as she will see that you strive for something and have your goals. You must make her understand that she is not the center of your life and that you aim for something much bigger than just a relationship with her. This approach will lower her ego and she will respect you. Rule number 5, never argue with her and don't let her provoke you emotionally. No matter what anyone says, men are less emotional than women. Emotions are women's territory. If a woman can provoke you emotionally, it tells her she has power and control over you. Remember, arguing with a woman is pointless. If a woman disrespects you or provokes you, the best thing you can do is withdraw your attention. The only weapon men have today is our attention. So the best punishment you can come up with for a woman is to deprive her of the value of your company. Rule number 6, never be jealous. If she's beautiful, other guys will inevitably try to meet her. When you show jealousy, you display your weakness and insecurity. Instead, observe the girl's reaction. If she truly loves and values you, she won't let another man get close. If you and your girl are at an event and some random guy decides to approach and meet her right under your nose, and she doesn't mind talking to him, the big mistake would be to confront him. If she behaves this way, she doesn't deserve you. Remember, in this case, it's the girl's responsibility to publicly reject the guy who thought he could approach and meet a girl who is with another man. In this regard, the girl acts like a lioness, protecting the honor and dignity of her man. She understands her man is her king, and it's unacceptable for him to lower himself to deal with some wannabe Casanova. A worthy girl will publicly reject this Casanova and discourage him from trying to meet taken women. An unworthy girl, on the other hand, will undermine her man and flirt with the guy who approached her. It's important to note that this works both ways. As a worthy man, you should also behave accordingly and reject women who want to meet you. Don't be a man who can't stay loyal to his lioness. Rule number 7, don't be afraid to reject women. Women can't handle rejection. Many of them have never been rejected in their lives. Many of them get everything on a silver platter without any effort. Women take rejection so painfully because they face harsh reality for the first time, which shatters their huge ego. Nothing hits a woman harder than demonstrating your value as a man. Don't be afraid to say no to women when they behave poorly and deserve it. This will bring them back to reality and restore their sense of self. Always rely on your moral code and goals, and you'll never lose in interacting with girls. Of course, all these tips apply to the earlier stages of relationships, but some can be useful even in later stages. But first, you must remember that everything starts with you. If you demand loyalty and dedication from a girl, you must be the wall she can hide behind. Work hard every day, develop yourself, and become a truly high-value man. We have a separate video on this topic on our channel. Subscribe and share your journey with us. Until next time.